we are going to see about actually like introduction about Pega, and actually like what are the things actually we are going to achieve from the CPPA certification. So first actually we should know what's like all about Pega, and then actually we little bit talk about actually what are the content actually we are going to cover as part of CPPA certificate course. Okay.
Mukesh, sorry, this Manoj, can you hear me?
Yeah, Manoj, I can hear you.
Hey, Ashok, there's one more person joining, Sudhakar. He's trying to do it. He said he's almost done. I just want to let you know.
Out. So actually just want to actually some introductions, actually 1 minute, and then we can proceed further.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, this is Manoj. I got around 20 years of IT experience, but mainly development experience. Been like a team lead. Well, I'm kind of familiar with the business requirement gathering and all that because we kind of wear different hats in the place where I work. And my healthcare is my domain, and the technology I'm using right now is a legacy one like C, Unix, Oracle, and all that. Yeah, but no experience in Pega, but I want to switch my career.
Fine. Thanks, Manoj.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sonam? Sonam, can you hear me? Sudhakar, you can start till time. I think Sonam will start after that.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Sudhakar, and I'm a Q. Currently, I'm working as a BA support for healthcare domain, Medicaid, and I have 10 years of experience in the healthcare industry, and mostly I'm on to the EDI side and EDI claims and encounters and all the areas of the healthcare industry. And I just want to switch my profile. So few friends suggested me to look into this.
Are you able to hear me now, Mukesh?
Yes, Sonam, I'm able to hear you now.
Okay. I don't know what problem it was earlier. I have 5 years of experience as a developer, not as a business analyst. And this business analyst role, I'm just into it. I have just 1 month of experience in that, and I'm working in claims management. And this Pega is new, and business analyst role is also new for me. And currently I'm in Sedgwick, working in US.
Okay.
And earlier I was with Tata Consultancy Service. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
There's one more. Priyanka just joined. Ashok, need introduction for Priyanka as well? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Priyanka. Priyanka, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Priyanka. Can you just brief about your, like just in 1 or 2 lines, about your experience about Pega and like the role of a BA?
Sure. I've worked overall around 6 years, and I have experience as a BA and as a QA. I have experience in Pega for around 2 years with version 7.1, primarily in case management and dispute management. Yeah, I have experience both in BA and QA in Pega.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. So now I get to like the audience actually what the number of experience who has experience on Pega. So today is actually like I'm going to not actually like more talk about the business role. Today actually like it's all about first thing you should know what is actually like why Pega is actually like in the market, why they are leading into the market, why people are wants to learn Pega, why it's like there are features, what are the different features of the Pega, and what is the little history about Pega. So that actually we're going to cover today. Yep. So first thing in Pega is actually like Pega is actually a model driven a tool. Okay. Just a minute. So now actually we can see. So what's actually like why Pega? So Pega is actually like if you can see they are very adaptable to market. Whatever actually like market trend is going on, Pega is changing into that. So if you can see Pega, actually you can see you can use cloud, you can use analytics, you can use mobile, and they are actually like different segments of the industry. All industry if you can see actually like healthcare, banking, payments, manufacturing, supply chain, they are present in everywhere. So every process, government organization, they are actually present, Pega is present into that. So the main feature of Pega is actually we don't need any coding. Actually like everything is in Pega is actually automated, and they provide very good UI, and they actually their main motto is build for change. Like whatever you are changing, whatever you are like designing, they actually like main motto is it's like build for change, don't build for today. Like whatever you are doing, whatever your requirement, whatever you are like you are designing, so design it for the future. Whatever you are doing, so that if you like in future you can make your product actually customizable for the future use. Okay, so that's the main and the main thing is it's like the development of any product which is actually like in other technology, if you say Java, HTML or mainframe, that takes a lot of time. And in Pega, when you're developing application, it takes actually around 30 to 40% less time. So if it is less time, the return of investment will be better. So that's why actually like various companies are going forward for Pega. So if you can see, they are actually like industry-wise, they present in banking, health benefit, insurance, communications, credit card, healthcare, manufacturing, supply chain, their life sciences, government. Okay, so all the Fortune 500 companies are actually like using Pega. So they are actually like the list of customers who are actually like going to use like already using Pega. So these are the major players. There are other players as also there, which are not listed here. Like small players are not there, and the list is still growing. Actually, like many more players are trying to actually like get more on Pega onto that. So in this actually you can see all the banks, Pharma, Novartis, ING, Commonwealth, Ford, every like if you need have heard about any technologies or any big company, you can find it here. Okay. So the little history about Pega. Pega started as a company in 1983 in USA, and initially they are not into the BPM part. They started to support some of the middleware products for American Express in 1983, and after that in 90s they formed a team within themselves, actually like with some BPM expert to start working on Pega. And it took that 10 years to release actually the BPM product, and 2001 they obviously released Pega as a BPM product. And actually they have a lot of financial crunch in 90s to support their companies, and in 96 actually like to support their financial, they went public and they listed in NASDAQ as Pega Technology. And after that, like from 2005 onwards, they like taken market a lot. Actually, like the revenues and everything got very much onto that. So their got profit got higher. Their actually BPM product actually like taken a lot. So I'll come into this slide later. Sorry. So you can see it's like they are actually growth-wise, they are number 1 in the BPM segment, number 5 into the CRM part. And they acquired many more companies, like Quadient was a competitor. They acquired that competitor on 2010. For mobile, they have acquired Antenna Software. And they acquired for analytics one Bangalore-based company, Mesh Labs. And there is a company called as Firefly, co-browsing. Actually, like, there is a feature called as co-browsing. For that, they have acquired company Firefly. And recently, in April 2016, they have acquired a company called as OpenSpan. And why they actually have acquired that company? For automation. That company provides support for robotics and automation. So actually, like now, they want actually the lower end of the BPO work can be automated by the robotics. No, actually I'm on slide number 6 now.
Mukesh, I think I can't see any slide changes. We're still on the first slide. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like,
Also
Slides. Then.
second slide.
can you see now?
Something in
Yes.
2010 competitors. That slide we can able to see it now. Is the same?
2010 competitor Quadient. That's what I see now.
Is it changing now?
Yes, now it is changing.
Mm.
We didn't see any of these before when you were saying. I thought like you were with the first slide itself.
Oh, fine. Sorry. I thought it like said that already. Okay. Sorry. So actually I will, okay, I'll just, you can see like this is my first slide.
Second slide. Can you start with the second slide?
Yeah, sure. I'm starting with the second slide one more. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So actually that's what I told, like why we are using Pega a lot. Actually like Pega provide a lot of new features actually that you can use in multi-devices. Like it can be used in cloud, it can be used in mobile, okay, it can be used in any laptop, desktop, and actually without any changes. Actually there is one platform. From that platform itself, it can be used in cloud, mobile, or anywhere. You don't need separate infrastructure for mobile, separate infrastructure for cloud, separate infrastructure for your desktop or laptop. So that's one more feature of Pega. And one more thing is actually like there is no coding. So if there is no coding, there will be very less error. And actually like the build quality is very high. So everything in terms of actually like the product quality is very good. The less error in production, the time actually to develop product is very less. So the mark to market is, if you say return of investment, it's like the many company look for return of investment. So if actually we are developing any product in Pega, so if we are developing that in less time, so the return of investment is better, and the profit will increase by that. So that's why Pega is picking it up into the market part. The second, let's move to the next slide. So I told about actually like it's presenting across the industry: banking, health, insurance, communication, credit card, payments, healthcare, manufacturing, supply chain, government. So all the Fortune 500 companies. So there is like data where they like Pega is used onto that. So this is the list of all the major players where we are using Pega, and it is the list is growing onto that. So this is about the history that I already told. They started in 1983. Okay, in 83 they are not as a BPM company. They are actually only actually like a BPM middleware product. Actually, they are just helping some of the big Fortune 500 companies onto their middleware things. And in 90s they formed a team with some BPM experts to start foundation of the Pega. And obviously they released as Pega product in 2001. And they have actually a lot of financial crunch in 90s. So they start actually like for financials, they went public in 1996. And from 2005 onwards, their financially was very much increased onto the BPM product, and everything was actually like, was very profitable for them. And after they acquired many companies. So from 2000 onwards, you can see they've acquired 6 or 7 companies till now. Codient, Antenna Software, Profitable Corporation, Mesh Labs, Firefly, and OpenSpan. Okay. Yeah. So you can see like Pega's how Pega evolved, right? Actually, there you can see in the market there are different. So they started actually in 2001, and Pega 4X start came in 2006, and then actually there was actually Pega 5.5 series, 5X series was run for around 4 years. So in that actually was the main limitation with Pega 5, 6 are there that they are not that user friendly. They are actually only can be used from one browser. They are not device independent. And with Pega 6, after Pega 7, the sorry, with Pega 7, actually the market of Pega is changed rapidly. Actually, like in end of 2013, they released Pega 7. That was completely changed the view of Pega in the market. Actually, it was cross-browser, it was device independent, it can be used in multiple places. So, so that is it's clear now.
Yes, but in between it's breaking.
Okay, fine. Okay. Uh,
In between it is breaking actually.
yeah. So let's talking about Pega 6 and Pega 7, there are a lot major difference came within that. Before Pega 6 also, if you can see, there is like the case management. It's like in BPM process is managing, Pega is using case management. So in Pega 6, they started with the case management, but with Pega 7, they have actually tremendously changed how you can dynamically handle the case. Actually, any business process, how you can handle dynamically, how you can add any ad hoc case. So all that features came with the Pega 7, and Pega 7 is actually very rich on UI part. Actually, like they have integrated everything into that, like all the new features of HTML, CSS, and your JavaScript. It enabled it completely into Pega 7, and it is very easy to change actually. And if you want to change any specific format, or if you want to change any specific layout, so it's very easy to change any UI in Pega 7. So Pega 7 makes life easy for actually for developers as well, and actually for actually for business analyst and actually other roles also, they've integrated onto that. And Pega provides different portals to different users. So for business analysts, they provide a different portal so they can develop their actually business-oriented process there directly. And for developer, actually there are different portals. For case manager, actually who is actually going to work and manage different portal. For user, there is a different portal for the same. So later classes, we will see how that looks like on that. So actually like without any competition, we cannot actually like someone will not grow without it. So Pega is not alone into the market actually who is providing this BPM and CRM part. So there are actually other market leaders into that. So in the BPM segment, actually like TIBCO, Cordius, Samian, Cat360, APN, IBM Lombardi are the actually like Oracle Fusion are actually other competitors onto the BPM segment. And onto the CRM side, Salesforce, SAP, Oracle CRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So they are the top 4, and Pega top 5 is like 5 onto the BPM CRM segment.
See, is that one and the same? Like, I mean, Pega has both CRM and the other one, like, or those two different ones?
Yes, sorry, Manoj?
No, the CRM and, like you said, the two sets, Oracle a CRM was one and Oracle BPM was other one, right? So just like we have
Yeah,
Pega has
actually, like
both.
there are two. Yeah, Manoj, actually there are two products from the Oracle. One is Oracle Fusion, and actually there is Oracle BPM.
Right. So Pega is kind of one tool for both.
Yes, Pega is actually one tool for both. Actually, like you can generate actually a BPM product, or you can generate a CRM product from itself.
Okay, cool. That's okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So actually, this is actually like, any business process. Actually, if you can see, actually, like Pega actually says that actually you can resolve that with the 6 R's of the concept. So if you say actually receive, route, report, respond, research, and resolve. So if you say actually, like if you take an example, actually if you go to an hospital, so what actually you need to do first? So they will receive the information from you. What is your medical symptoms? How you're feeling, right? So any like physical thing, like previous symptoms are there. What is the symptoms? So they will receive the information from you, and then they will route it to particularly normal doctor or actually any physician, and they will ask you for any blood test or any other normal test, and then it's like your report progress, how it is going on, that will be reported, and then based on your once your report came up, someone will prescribe you the medicine. So there it will like they will respond you back, and actually like and based on your condition, actually like how the medicine is working, how your condition is improving, how your previous medical record. So the research will be performed onto that, and once you finally working well, so that you actually your case is resolved. So that way, actually, any business process can be actually can be part of actually can be described with this 6 R's of Pega. So another concept actually is Pega actually when you say that is called as DCO. So direct capture of objective. So when we get actually like any business requirement from a customer, actually like they want actually like any specific business requirement. So Pega actually like provide a feature that is called as direct capture of objective. From that actually what we do is actually we do the analysis how that can be achieved. Then actually we move into that specific and what actually like normal project life cycle goes. So this is actually the general example. So where actually we are taking of a HR recruitment. So how that can be converted into different stages and different processes. What are the different steps we require to achieve in a normal business process. So in this actually if we say if you actually a candidate is starting actually for an interview, so first we ask for his personal information, his professional information, his educational information, and then we screening for that. Does it fit for the position? Does it have enough qualifications? And then if it is sufficient, then we can like schedule the interview. Then we conduct the interview for him, and based on the interview feedback, either he can be rejected or he can be selected. So after that, we start the background verification for him, and then we determine if like what will be the salary to offer to that person, and once it like everything finalized, we extend the offer to him and inform the candidate. So this is actually, you can see, a normal handling of any case in Pega. So how Pega achieves with that? So Pega provides like everything in Pega is called as rules. So if you say like any flow is a rule. Application is a rule. Any UI is like that component is a rule. Any logic decision we are using, that is a rule. So Pega provided different set of rules to achieve actually the 6 R's of it. So how it like we are receiving the information, how we are actually trying to integrate with other systems. So that Pega provides different category of the rule to support that. So process, user interface, logic and decision, integration, reporting and case management. There are some other categories are also there, like security, systems. So that is like not part of it like we covered, but these are the major category of the rules which support the application. So the final thing is your certifications. So these are the certifications which are available for a business architect and for a developer point of view. So currently, like CPBA is the certification for a business architect role, and other 4 are for a developer role. So CSA is actually for system architect, senior system architect. So there is a dependency onto that. Actually, once you got certification on CSA, after that you can go for other certifications as well. So we'll talk about the CPBA certifications now. Yeah, it's actually like certified Pega business architect only, but yeah, it's actually like in there it's written as process, so I'll just correct it out. Okay. So the major thing is actually like the current actually which Pega certifies the certification, there are only 2 versions are available, 7.1 and 7.2. So 7.1 actually is going to expire on this December itself, and 7.2 is started in actually like this year in June only. So then 7.2 is going to be like start actually for around 2 or 3 years. It will be there. So the older version actually going to be retired on 31st December. So if you can see actually like the certificate, the question wise, it consists of 70 questions, and there will be 3 multiple choice questions into that, and it will be 90 minutes, and the pass percentage is the 70% onto that. And the topics wise you can see in 7.2 actually like they've reduced the data modeling, automatic business policy, and reporting from that. So actually like their main focus is the role of business architect, exactly what business architect does. So he do like analysis of the business, he do the initial design. So that we can see analysis and design are actually like 76% in 7.2. So what they did it actually they removed some of the Pega fundamentals actually which are happening in 7.1. So they removed that part from So if you can see, actually, like in 7.2, they actually reduce the Pega fundamentals of the data modeling, automatic business processing, and reporting, and actually they are more focused on what's the role of a business architect. So actually, application analysis and design picks up the 76 part of it. So the course content wise, actually, we are going to cover both 7.1 and 7.2. So whatever actually you prefer, you can go for that one. So actually, we are going to cover both of the course, actually like both actually like the complete application design, application analysis, case designing, UI, data modeling, and automatic business policy and reporting as well. So that actually we are going to cover actually both 7.1 and 7.2 onto the course. So that actually it will be, so either way you can go for which certification you want to go, you can go for that. In 7.2, that actually that make little simpler, so that the number of questions is decreased to 50, and the number of times is remain same 90 minutes, and the pass percentage also decreased. So there is 65%. So from 50, you need to get around 33 questions to be corrected for that.
So I have a question, like, because 7.1 is very detailed and they have almost changed, especially for CPBA, they have changed Pega Express and they have added a few more features, right? So don't you think
That's
it will
right.
be a bit confusing if we go with both 7.1 and 7.2? It's just a question, like if there might be some things that are clashing between the two. So that's why I'm asking.
See, actually, if you can see, in application design, it remains same. Okay. So
Okay.
actually, that is not changed in 7.1 and 7.2. Okay.
Okay.
In 7. All other things, like your case designing and UI designing, data modeling, are almost same in 7.1 and 7.2. Only thing is
Okay.
that they have actually came up with a new portal for it. Actually, there was no portal for business users in 7.1. And now they have
Okay.
came up with a new portal completely, actually Pega Express. So we are going to like
Right.
give you demo on Pega Express only. Like whatever that we are not going to use the Designer Studio, where is the developer portal to design. So we are going to use the Pega Express only for all the solutions.
Okay. And I attended one interview in that they asked me, would I be able to change skins and create a prototype application? Do you cover anything like that in this course?
Yeah, actually, see, actually, like, we are going to create some applications. Actually, like we are going to cover actually two prototype of the application. Actually, on for to get to end onto that, like we are going to create different cases. We are going to create different processes within it. So we are going to
Okay.
create two different prototype of the application within the Pega Express. So one
Okay.
actually I will
Okay.
do
Thank
that.
you.
One is for Pega Express. One we can take some of the examples from the Designer Studio also, so that you can get feel of both environment, both portal.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you.
So that's actually just that's still main things actually we want to cover. Actually, like if you can see what the role actually we look for any analysis. Actually, like direct capture of objective, how we define the requirements, what are the different the specification we are going to do, and in application design we are going to use how to use Pega Express and how to use the Designer Studio. So because some of the time we need to use Designer Studio as well. And then we are going to use the case designing, data model, UI, and actually like in automatic business policy, how to route, how to like notification, how to do the service level agreement, and then finally how to generate reports we are going to see, and we are going to see methodology also, like Pega provide Pega BPM as actually methodology. So there is like how to make actually how to generate your requirements specifications. So Pega provided a methodology that is actually like DCO. We are going to cover as Scrum and that BPM part of it. So we are going to cover how we can go for DCO. There are different phases of DCO, so that we are going to cover into that part as well. Yep. So that is like the main of the course. So if you have any
One more, yeah, just one point, like I don't have much experience in frameworks, right? They keep asking about smart dispute framework, case
okay.
management framework. Can you explain about that, please? Like how it will be covered here, or how do we understand?
Uh, frameworks are actually like if you can see specific to domain. Actually, like there are actually a lot of frameworks are available into the market. Actually, like depend on to the, your vertical, because actually smart dispute actually you are onto the banking domain or insurance.
Okay.
And actually like there are actually a lot of actually smart dispute FSIS for insurance. Actually they have PUC, UI. So actually see, they are actually specific to domain knowledge. So for this one CPPA course, you don't need any specific domain knowledge onto that. It's actually depend on which actually part you are working, that will be help you if you have previous experience onto the same domain. But the Pega, actually when we are talking about CPPA course, there is no domain specific into that. There is nothing actually. There no questions will be come for any domain specific. So most of the application is like using like either it is like based on Pega rules, or either it is using some frameworks to start building onto the Pega projects. So there are two different ways of if you are using Pega rules. So you need to know how you can integrate that into the Pega. But if you are using a framework, you need to find out what are the gaps in that framework, how that is used, that solution framework, so that it like in the DCO phase, it changes the behavior. In Pega rules, actually like we need to get how we can integrate that into Pega. But in if you are using a solution framework, the DCO session change. How we can gap actually like what are the features are there into the solution framework? How can we feel that gap for the solution framework? So if you say like you're working on a claim, so for a specific claim, if you say in your company there are some other specific processes are there. So you want to just modify that process into that part. So there is you do gap analysis a lot in case of solution framework. But in case of if you are using Pega rules, we are doing the mainly like requirements mapping onto that.
Okay, thank you. And do you provide any mock questions for 7.2? Because I'm personally trying to do that exam, 7.2 exam. So that's why I asked you.
Yeah, there are actually not much questions on to the 7.2. I have around 100 questions, so I'll forward you that one. Actually, that is actually specific to the certification one. So I'll forward that questions part of certification question.
Okay, thank you. So your what is your opinion? Should we take 7.1 exam or 7.2 exam?
Actually, like if you are already actually like in 7.1, so like 7.2 is more focused onto what's actually exact role of a business architect. So actually there is actually more on analysis and application design. And if you want to stay with the Pega, actually with 7.1, actually they more focused onto there are two parts of it, Pega fundamentals plus role of a business architect. So it's actually like you can say a mixture of both on in 7.1.
Okay.
So for you, I think it will be like 7.1 will be better. So you can go for, because you have already worked with the case designing and if you like all other things, the UI part already you have worked. So it will be good.
Yeah, I have, but we never used Pega in terms of BA, right? Like they directly, the CSA would directly capture our requirements into their implementation. So personally, I've never really used DCO or Pega Express. I'm just familiar of those concepts because we were asked to take.
Yeah, Pega Express was not there in 7.1. Actually, in 7.2
Yeah, correct.
Express was there. So there was like standard in Pega 7.1. Actually, like the same Designer Studio you was used to create the prototyping. We don't have any other portal or any actually environment where we can be used by business analysts.
Yeah, so I've never done all that. So I never had the option to do the prototyping and all. We just got to read, do the the TDN courses, but primarily it was a waterfall approach. So we had our own documentation methodology that we followed.
Okay. So you follow it. Okay. Most of the time, like most of the Pega projects works in Agile. Yeah, some of the companies
exactly.
Yeah, Scrum methodology they are using most of the project. Yeah, some of the technologies like companies are still in waterfall approach. So yeah, because actually like in this course also actually like they more focus on to the agile methodology only. So the Pega BPM actually which is actually talked about the methodology is a combination of waterfall and Scrum. So they have combined and actually given as a hybrid methodology for Pega projects. So Pega BPM is a hybrid of waterfall and Scrum. So that we are going to cover in our session.
Okay.
Mukesh?
Yes.
I under this impression that for Pega BA certification for 7 version, we have to study both 7.1 and 7.2. So is it like that, or we have an option to prepare for 7.1 and give the certification for 7.1 only?
Yeah. Actually, see, what actually like the course actually I'm planning that actually so that you can get the glance of both one. Actually, after that, either you can go for 7.1 or either you can go for 7.2. So actually, like, I'm going to cover both versions.
No, I'm talking about the certification. In the certification, the question will be a mix of both the versions, or if like I opted for 7.2. So will it cover all the questions from 7.1 as well as 7.2? Because
No.
I'm told by someone that if you are going for 7 point higher versions, then all the previous versions are also covered in the higher version. Like if I'm going for 7.2, then 7.1 will be, there will be questions from 7.1 as well.
No, Sonam, it's not like that. If you can see the course, actually, like, if you can actually just show you that right here. If you can see the 7.1 domains, and it's like the domain wise, if the question will come. So if there is actually like if you can see data modeling, automatic business policy, and reporting is not there in 7.2.
Okay.
Okay, so there will be no questions will be come from that.
Okay, if I go for 7.2, then there will be no questions from 7.1.
Actually, see, if you see actually when actually version comes, right? So that is the enhanced version of 7.1. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever the features will be there in 7.1, it's going to be there in 7.2 as well. So it's not that actually like the 7.1 question will be not there.
Okay.
So if you see actually like your application design, you can see like application design, case design, UI design, right? So they are still there in 7.1 and 7.2. So they are common in between 7.1 and 7.2. So that actually like around 70% of that are same.
Okay. And there are topics like data modeling, automating business policies, and reporting. So these are not in 7.2.
That's right. So that questions will not be there. So from that, if like they are main focused onto that I told analysis. So they have actually made more focused onto the how you do the analysis, how you can do the requirement gathering, how you create your functional requirement, how do you create your functional specification, how do you integrate that with your application. So there actually the main focus is into that.
Okay, in 7.2.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So as a business analyst, we should go for 7.2 only because that is more.
Yeah, actually, but they actually mean given more approach to actually the role of business analyst onto that. So they have actually like how you can integrate requirements, how you create smart objectives, smart requirements. So they have given more actually like how you do that, and they have integrated that with the Pega applications. So once you do the analysis, how you can integrate with the design part of it.
Okay.
So how you can integrate, how you capture that within the Pega itself. So that actually going to cover more onto that 7.2. So if you are actually like new to the Pega, actually I'll suggest to go for 7.2 only.
Okay, and one more thing, in this class we'll have a mix of both 7.1, like these topics which are not included in 7.2, so you are going to include those also in the classroom, right?
Yes, that's right. So if you can see the course content, I've covered both part of it, 7.1 and 7.2 itself. So either of one you want to go, you can go with that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Because 70% are actually like on the same. Actually between 7.1 and 7.2, 70% are the same course. So the 30% actually was from actually like I'll cover from 7.1 and 30% from 7.2. So overall actually will be like you will be get the both versions. So you will get the glance of other part of it as well.
Okay. Yeah. That's great.
So anyway, we would need data modeling, right? Like it will help us even if we pass 7.2, we will be able to use that information that is there in 7.1. That's what you're trying to say, right? Like reporting part and business policies, they have not changed in 7.2?
Yes. Yes, it's not changed, but it's not part of the
Okay.
certification.
Okay, okay. Got it. Yeah, yeah. That will help. For sure it will help. So, yeah, thanks for including that.
So when you say it's 7.1 is expiring, means you don't get to do the certification after December 31st on 7.1?
Yeah, Manoj, it's actually says that like the certification is going to be retired. Actually, like after that, you are not
Okay.
able to get certification on 7.1. Only you can have 7.2 afterwards.
Okay. So anyway, after December, there's no question of 7.1 then.
Yes. Till that, actually, you can appear for 7.1. After that, only 7.2 will be there.
Okay.
Okay, is there any onset of the 7.3 version, or there will be only two versions, 7.1 and 7.2 for this main 7 version? So is,
Currently, like, yes, Sonam, actually, the latest version, actually 7.2.1 only. The latest
okay,
version of Pega, which is running actually by Pega, is 7.2.1. So there is no 7.3 in the market.
okay,
Might be in future it will come. So might be in like next 2-3 years,
okay,
7.3 will come.
okay, okay.
And these certifications are usually a year or two valid?
Sorry, Manoj?
The certification validity is usually 1 to 2 years, or?
No, its warranty is actually like lifetime. It's actually like not going to expire. So once you are certified in that version, it's there. So there is no expiry of certification.
Okay.
Oh, I had the same question actually. So basically, if there is an upgrade in the version, like how it was earlier version 6 point something, now it is at 7. When it goes to a higher version, it is up to us to do another certification and get ourselves recertified, is it?
Yeah, that's right, Priyanka.
Okay.
Actually, like if it is really you want, actually like in that version also you want to certify, you can go for that.
Okay, Mukesh, can you tell me that how this versions are created? Like, what was the difference in Pega 6 and Pega 7? And why they created 7.1 and 7.2? Why don't they create 8 version, Pega 8? So how they make these versions and how they differentiate the subversions?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
can we?
definitely.
Yeah.
Right, Sunam. Actually, I'll explain you that. So, see, actually, like, if you see, actually, like, you use Word, right?
Yes.
Microsoft Word, right? So,
Yes.
actually, you have Microsoft 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016. There are different versions they have given that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what will make it like? What are the different features you have got into that? Like, you have worked with the different versions of it, right? So, how you
Yes,
feel the
but
difference of
we
it?
didn't get different subversions of Microsoft. Like
Yes.
we have 2007, then 8. It is not like 2007.1, 2007.2. So that's what I want to know, that why they make different versions. What are the means they change the functionality altogether? That's why they create a main version,
No.
or is it something else?
So actually what actually happening, if you see, actually apart from that, actually you got hot fixes in between, right? Actually it's not just you get updates in between as well. So that actually like you say, if there is actually like the version wise, they have 7.1.1, 7.1.2, 7.1.3, 7.1.4, 7.1.9. So they have
Okay.
all the different versions are there. Before 7.2, this all versions they have released. So why they release multiple versions? Like, see, actually someone has reported some features are not there in that one. So they included that into the newer version. Someone told that there is actually an existing bug is there. So they actually fix that and release one more version after that. So after that, actually in that way, there are some hot fixes, there are some new features onto the each version comes onto that. So once they think that actually like it's now there is enough features or any of actually hot fixes is done. So they after that they go for a major change onto that from 7.1 to 7.2.
Okay.
And actually like in that say there are like from Pega 6 to Pega 7, there was a major revamp. Actually like the complete UI changed. Okay, the integrations, UI, everything is changed from Pega 6 to 7. So directly from 6.3, they changed to 7. So it might happen that actually like 7, actually they are integrating like once actually tool, right? They are automating the things. So once actually like they have included automation, decision management, and actually like in future they have integrated more things into that. So they might release 8 in near future.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was.
it's all about the new features and the functionality in the versions.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
So what material would you be sharing with us as part of this course?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to share you all like the topics wise. I'm going to share you all like what you need. You can read it, and actually, I'm going to share the actually that video you are going to get it, okay, and all the documents and the questions. Actually, I'll share you to that. And actually, I'm trying to create an mock exams as well. So I'll give you one mock test so you can practice from that as well. So you get all the documents which are listed into this topic, and then some questions which is like will be related to your directly exams, and some mock test you can practice from that.
And can we also do some real-time exercises in Pega
Yeah.
Design Studio? Okay.
Yeah, Priyanka, actually we are going to do actually real time only. Like I'm going to do actually like completely onto the application. We are going to do actually like completely on Pega itself. So actually we have a Pega environment. So I'm going to do everything from in Pega environment only. So that actually will give you the real time experience, how to do that, how actually like we are designing the case, how to use the Pega Express, how we are designing the UI. So everything will be like onto the real time only. So, and actually we are going to cover that actually tool, right? We are going to create the prototypes of the application as well. So that actually will be on the real time only. So we are going to use the same as actually we are doing in our day-to-day development. We are going to do the same in the training as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And one more question. Like,
so we'll be logging into the Pega systems?
Sorry? Sorry, Manoj?
Priyanka, go ahead. I can ask after you.
Okay, sorry.
No worries, yeah. That's...
Mukesh, what I was asking was like, do we log into Pega, real-time Pega, and do it, or how do we like?
Yes,
when we do sessions.
There are two ways. Actually, there is actually one thing. Actually, like there is a software, so you can download it and then you can install it in your laptop so that you can practice from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that actually like I'll check with Ashok. Actually, we can arrange it like there is actually because this is a very big file. Actually, like it's a 5 GB file.
Oh, you mean the software?
That, like how we can pass that software, so that we'll check that out.
Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering how do we get a hands-on experience or work?
Yeah. Actually, most of the training when we do it like class, actually we'll provide the softwares to them so that they can practice online. But I'll check with Ashok actually how we can pass the softwares to that. Like might be we can use the Google Drive. So from the Google Drive you can download it from there.
Okay. So that's like pretty much same like how Pega looks, the look and feel of it. Okay.
So actually I'll just give you, it's like Pega is just a one-page application. So if it looks like so this is actually like the Pega looks like the single screen.
Okay.
So everything is actually we do it from here, and which actually told about of express mode. So this is actually in 7.2. We have got that. So we can switch to Pega Express mode. So it will be it will convert into Pega Express mode.
Okay, that's where the business architects will be working.
So there actually like business analyst and architect works in this one. Okay. So they have actually included this feature that how the screen look like in different, actually like in tablet, how it will look like in mobile. So you can directly see your applications from here itself.
Okay. That's
So
good.
there you can create cases, you can create data, you can create users, and there are some settings you can do from directly from the Pega Experience.
Right. Mhm.
So
So, Mukesh, do we need to do the prerequisite courses to pass the exam? Like in PDN, we have courses for
no, actually that
CPBS.
courses I'm going to cover that.
Oh,
So
great.
that
Okay.
actually either you can go for that courses or you can take the training. So actually, like if you
Okay.
have that's actually I'm going to cover that courses here only for that part of training.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Which courses you're talking about, Mukesh? I didn't get you.
Hello, Manoj, did you
Mukesh, I
ask?
mean, what was the course? Yeah, I was asking like, Priyanka was asking about the courses. You mean like, what's that courses about?
What? Sorry, the voice didn't come properly. Sorry, what course?
Can, yeah, I mean, you're mentioning about the course, right? Courses there. So you said you'll be covering the courses. Which courses was that you're mentioning?
Yeah, so Pega PDN, right? Developers Network. They have their own Pega Academy, and not everyone can get access to it. It's like a paid course, and I
Okay.
know it's available, but it's not very easy to access. You need to either have it through your company, then it's free. Otherwise, you have to pay and get it. So Mukesh explained that he is going through all that in his training, so we don't need to do that separately. It's covered in this course.
Yeah, Manoj, just I'm going to show you that. Actually, like when you go to Google and if you like you will search for CPBA and if you like you can get that PDF for that. That will be the transcript for that certification. Okay. So there is like if you can see there are two versions, 7.1 and 7.2. Okay. So this is that was given by Pega. So what are the different you need to cover onto that? Okay. So that's the topic wise, actually the blueprint of that. So here there is something prerequisites are mentioned. So there is like there's a domain we are going to cover. Okay, and if you can see here the prerequisites. So they actually tell about these two prerequisites: business architect essentials or business essentials for technical architect. So that two courses, if they say that as part of the course. So that actually I'm going to cover in the training.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
So same actually in CPBA you can see the same way. Basically there is two different courses. One is the fundamental and actually one is the business architect essential. So there are two courses now. They've split it into two courses onto that. And then domain wise, same like which I told, application analysis and design will be covered from that.
Okay.
So actually if you can see the questions wise, all are multiple choice, multiple responses and matching. So there is no true false questions. Previously there are true false questions was there. So they have removed true false questions now. So only the multiple choice with single answer or multiple answers.
So Mukesh, I have a pre-planned, like I've relocated to India, so I have a pre-planned trip for around 8 days in, this month. I'm not sure I'll have internet connection in those 8 days. So if I miss a class, how do I, if I take this course, how can I compensate it? Is there some option you have?
Mm, so actually, that I need to actually check with that. We are going to record the complete session, so you will get the recording, and also you can check out like
Yeah.
other part of it. Actually, I'll check with Ashok onto that. So
Pri-
that recording, I think Ashok can share that out.
Priyanka, suppose if we start some other batch, I will include in the timings.
Yeah, actually.
For those lessons alone, right? Like I don't want to miss, if you're starting a course, I don't want to miss it, that's all.
Yeah. There are two options. One is whatever you missed for that sessions I will allow you, or else if you go through the recordings, if you have any doubts, I will arrange one-on-one session with Mukesh for you.
Yeah, Priyanka. Yeah, actually.
Okay, that would be great, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, fine, thank you. Some noise is coming from your end. Yeah, hi Manoj, and if you
Music.
have any questions, you can ask me now. And the sessions also we are planning to start from tomorrow onwards.